Good morning, students. Once again, today we are going to start for the second module of small business and economic development. Okay. Hope you remember in the previous class we have discussed what do you mean by this small business and economic development. Okay, small business and economic development second module banditu, that is how to start the business is there. Okay, how to start the business, that is business ಅನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದಲ್ಲ. Right, so here in this particular business, okay, how to start the business. I told you that in this particular module we are going to study about starting a new business. Okay, how we are going to start a new business. To start a new business we require the ideas, how we can generate the ideas. Okay, how we can able to generate the ideas and what all the steps are there to start up the business. Then in this particular model we are talking about the concepts of the project, what do you mean by the project, and what is project identification is there. Okay, how we are going to, project means nothing but the business. Okay, and how to identify those projects and how to formulate that particular project. Okay, and ultimately we are making the project reports too. So project report, I told you that, okay, there are two types of project reports are there. Okay, one is what do you call it, say, PPR, and the other one is the DPR. Okay, that's the PPR and the DPR is there. What do you mean by this PPR and the DPR? This is also very much important. So we are going to study about these things in this particular model. So I'll just give you the glimpse that the PPR is nothing but the preliminary project report. If you want, you can make a note of that. Okay, so there are two types of project reports. There's a one is there's a PPR, there's a preliminary project report, and the second one is that is a DPR, that's a detailed project report. So what do you mean by this preliminary and the detailed? What are the differences, the preliminary and the detailed? So preliminary is before we start the business, we are expecting something to invest, or something we are expecting the returns from that, and something we are expecting how much we can produce and how much we can able to sell and how much we can able to earn the profit from that. So this is what you can say preliminary. That means approximately you are putting the figures in the report. Okay, ಅಂದಾಜ್ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಫಿಗರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಿ, ಏನು ಒಂದು 10,000 ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ನಾ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಂದು 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ್ರಿ, ನನಗೆ 15 ಲಕ್ಷ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನನಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ್ರಿ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಒಂದು ಅಂದಾಜ್. Okay, approximately you are putting the figures. That is what we can say. That is, we can say there's a preliminary project report. Then detailed project. What is the difference of this detailed project? Detailed project report is the actual figures what you are putting in the paper. That is what you call the detailed project report. So we'll begin with the starting a new business. That is very much important. So you know that a lot of efforts are required to start a business because it requires various things, various characteristics, various features is required for this. When the business start ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅದರಿ. ಕಷ್ಟ ಪಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಅದ. You can say there's a manpower, we can say the finance, we can say the place, we can say the technology, machinery, various things is required to start a business. Okay, if it's a service also we require the people. Okay, if it's service then we require the people for that, right? So this is how the things is required, because you know that successful, okay, success in business is achieved on an ability of a person and solving the anticipated problems at a minimum cost. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎದುರಿಸುವಂತ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ right? So any business, you can say, before we start the business, lot of things is required for that. Lot of things. ಅದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಇರ್ತದ, ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅನ್ ಈಸಿ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಅ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. As I have told, I always link this particular business with the marriage, so where you can able to understand easily. ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಪವರ್, ಈಗ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದೆಲ್ಲ, ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ವಿ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್, and that too we require the skilled people, where they, and skilled people where they can able to convince the customer is very much important. Service sector ultimately your reactions and your response for the customer's requirement is very much important. And as you know that for the product or the manufacturer, it requires a huge things, like as we have said, there's a manpower is required, finance is required, place is required, okay, or maybe we can record the technology, various things is required. So selecting a location or maybe sufficient capital required a lot of things to put the effort to start up the business. And as I told the earlier, many people have the enough of money, but they don't know how to start the business. And if they start the business also, they don't know how to run that business. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಕಡೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಅದ ರೀ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಇದ್ರೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನ ಹೆಂಗ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. See, many of your friends or maybe your classmates, okay, many of the people you have in business background, but the thing is how your parents are running the business, similarly you are unable to run the business. ನಿಮ್ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ರಿ, ಆ ತರ ನೀವು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್, ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. Not only just selling the product, it requires a lot of things, lot of skill, like how to communicate, how to maintain the relationship, how to build the bondingness with the customers. Not only with the customers, even you need to build a bondingness with your vendors also. Customers as well as the vendors, you need to balance the relationship is very much important. As I said, okay, business means it's not a small task and it's not an easy task, but yes, gradually you will learn. ನೀವು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತ ನಾವು ಕಲಿಬಹುದ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಹೆಂಗದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕಲಿಯೋದು ಬಹಳ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅದ. ಯಾರು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕಲಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತುಳಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ. ನೋ ಒನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಟೀಚ್ ಯು, ಪೀಪಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕ್ರಿಟಿಸೈಸ್ ಯು ಇನ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಇವನ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತದ್ರಿ, ಇವೇನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಟಾಕ್, ಹಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್. You know that many people outside the state, okay, ಹೊರ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆದವರು ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವಂತ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿ. So it requires a lot of things. It requires the lot of things is required to start up the business. So that's what I have said, that starting a new business, it's required a lot of things to analyze. So we'll just start the points, okay, and I'll send you the notes right away after this particular class. Okay, so here the selection of line of business is very much important. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಲೈನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಾಮುಖ್ಯತೆವಾದದ್ದು. That is very much important. That is a foremost important step. What line of business you wanted to start, because this is the basic thing to consider by an entrepreneur while starting a new business. Any entrepreneur, okay, this is the what you can say, the basic things that is considered what line of the business he wanted to start. He has to study the market of the goods and the services which have great demand, so that he can survive in the business for a long term. Okay, any entrepreneur, okay, if he wanted to start a business, he need to analyze in the market, he need to study the market, he need to analyze the market, he need to research the market, okay, what goods and the services which have the great demand, because always we do the business which is scarcity in the market, okay, which is required in the market, which is demand in the market, that business we used to start. And not only for the short term, we used to think for the long term. That is very much important. Now we require the mask, so you can able to start the mask manufacturing. That is only for the short-term period. That is only for the short-term period. You need to think for the long term. With the same technology, with the same human resource, okay, you need to plan for the long-term business. Yes, now maybe you have an fabric manufacturer, or maybe what you can say, textile industry, you can say. So adralage idu part, that is a mask manufacturing. You know that Ramraj Panchegalu. Ramraj and Takshna, we say immediately Panchegalu. What do you mean by this? Because they are very famous, they are recognized to manufacture, that's the Panchegalu. And that too, the white, pure white lungis they used to manufacture, that is a Ramraj. Not only lungis, even the shirts they are manufactured. Okay, but now kerchief, everything they are manufacturing, mainly they are concentrating for the white color. But you know that now they are started manufacturing the mask also. Mask also. This is very interesting because if they started selling the mask, the people can able to analyze what is the logo for this particular Ramraj. This is very, that is indirectly they are doing the advertisement here. Okay, indirectly they are doing the advertisement. So that's the reason I'm saying. So whatever the business is there, you need to plan. Okay, you need to plan what kind of business you wanted to start. Some people have the maybe some people you have the background, maybe family background is the business background is the other than you connected ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ. Maybe for example, I'll give a small example. You know, the diversification of the business. Hope you already studied this. Diversification of the business. ಈಗ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು. ಓಕೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ಹರಿ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಇರ್ತದ್ರಿ. ಯು ನೋ that Prabhu Canteen, we'll take a small example of hotel industry. Prabhu Canteen, you can take an example. You know that Prabhu Canteen, he used to sell his tea on street vendors, as a street vendor. ಒತ್ತು ಗಾಡಿ ಒಳಗ ಹಾಕರ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ, ಒತ್ತು ಗಾಡಿ ನಾವು ಹಾಕರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಡ್ಡಾಡಿ ಮಾರುವವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ಹಂಗ ಅವರು ಚಾದ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದವರು. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತದ ಅವರು he had built his own building. That's a big that too in the center of the market, BLD hತ್ರ own building ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it cost around 1.5 crore rupees just for the building and the construction. Just imagine, right? This is how the business ideas are there. Many people, you have the background of the business, same thing you can continue. Madal ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಚಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಈಗ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ಕಿಶನ್ the main, he is famous for the puri and all, the breakfast. But you know that gradually he started giving the meals for the engineering students. Then he started, now there's a North Indian dishes and all. Guys, this is what I'm saying. You need to choose what kind of business you wanted to start. That's the reason we are saying there's a selection of the line of the business is very much important. Whether automobile, whether textile, okay, or whether in electronics, okay, whether pharmaceuticals, what kind of business you wanted to start. Because if you have a big family, then better you can start all kind of business. If you are only a single entrepreneur, then plan which is interested and which you know the knowledge. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎದುರಾಗ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಅದಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. This is what. Then next one is, that is the size of the business ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, size of the business, that means this depends on the capacity and confidence of the entrepreneur is important. Capacity of the money and how big you are going to start the business is important. Hope you know that many times I have told you that is SG group. Okay, SG group, you know what do you mean by the SG group? Can you able to reply quickly what do you mean by this SG group? Can you able to reply in the message what do you mean by this SG group? Yashwant, can you able to reply in the voice what do you mean by this SG group? What do you mean by this SG? I'm talking about the entrepreneur. Yes, guys, am I audible to you all? If I'm audible, then reply me fast. See, I told you why I have raised this particular question. I told, I'm talking about the size of the firm, size of the company, size of the business, whatever you can say, the size. Okay, I have said that is a to select that you as an entrepreneur, it is required the confidence. Okay, as an entrepreneur, you require the confidence as well as capacity to run that particular business. Yes, exactly what you said. That is, it's a company, but don't know much. No, 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 not Akshata. You are saying Greenland. No, Sunspearl is Google. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, almost you all are searching in the Google. Yes, I know that. That's the reason I have given the short form. That is the SG group. You know that SG group, that is nothing but the Sanjay Godawat group. Okay, you know the Sanjay Godawat, the many firms, many different companies are set up in the nearby Kolhapur. Okay, if you see the left and right side, they are into the all kind of business. They are into the all kind of business. That is maybe textile industry. They are petroleum industry. They are into the water, mineral waters. Okay, so this is how they have all kind of business. You know that star. Hope many of you heard. There is a star. There is a gutka. What you can say. You know the star water bottle. Okay, fruit star. Hope you heard this word. Fruit star. That means a fruity. There's a mango juice. They are providing, manufacturing. So they are into the everything. Even they are into the academics also. There is a Sanjay Godawat Institute, ESG group of institution. They have their own university, SG University. Why I'm telling you, they have started the in a company, and this is a first generation entrepreneur. Huh? He's not into the second generation and the third generation. ಇವ್ರಲಿಂದನೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಸಂಜಯ್ ಗೋಡಾವತ್ ಅವರಿಂದನೇ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು. But only thing in that he always start with the bigger manner, because I told you that I was talking about the size of the business. Size of the business here, it's required your confidence as well as your capacity to run the business or capacity to start up the business. See, if you start with the bigger manner, then you don't face any competitor here. Okay, if you start in a bigger manner, then definitely there is no much competitors will arise. But if you start with the lesser, then definitely many competitors will arise here. And not only just an investment, how you are going to run that business is also very important. See, finance, somehow we can able to invest. We'll pledge every asset and we'll get the money and we can start the business. But do you have that guts to run that business? ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಗಟ್ಸ್ ಅದ ಏನ್ರಿ ನೀ ಈ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, that is very much important. So that's the reason whenever we are choosing the business, okay, we need to understand what is the size of the business, whether I wanted to start the business with very small or very large. That is very much important. That's what we have said. This to select the size of the firm, it depends on the capacity and the confidence of the entrepreneur. And the entrepreneur should be capable to invest a large amount of the capital, because there are a lot of risk is there. We have said, we have studied that is the entrepreneurship development. The risk, who can able to take the risk, who can able to manage it, who can able to take the risk, and who can able to bear the uncertainties. Those people only can able to become a, what you can say, entrepreneur. Right? So selecting the firm is also very much important, guys. That is very much important. ನಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಸಂಜಯ್ ಗೋಡಾವತ್ತದು ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟನೆ ಅಂತಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ನೀವು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ. ವಿಂಡ್ ಪವರ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕೂಡ್ಗಿ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅದಲ್ರಿ, ಆ ತರ ಅವ್ರದೇ ಆದಂತದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಂತ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಕ್ರಷರ್, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್. ನಾ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ, ನೀವು ಕೊಲ್ಹಾಪುರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದೇ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. SG ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್, ದರ್ ಇಸ್ SG ಗುಡ್ಕಾ, SG ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ, SG petroleum industries, okay, SG education institutes, various things. If you find out in the Google, you will come to know that, right? So why? Because he always start with the bigger manner. That is very much important, guys, right? So selecting the business, starting a new business, we are talking about. First thing is selecting the line of the business is important, and the second one is there's a size of the business is very much important. Now coming to the choice of the form of the ownership is also important. Choice of the form of the ownership. And ownership, what kind of ownership? Whether it's a sole proprietor, whether it's a joint stock company, whether it's a partnership company, okay? What kind of business? Whether whether it's a single owner company or partnership company or the joint stock company, what kind of business, what kind of partnership ownership is required, that you need to think. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಅಂತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕೋತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್, ರೈಟ್? ಲೀಗಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾವು, ಓಕೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಲಿಸೀಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಕೊತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅದ. ಬಟ್ ನೀವು ಹೆಂಗದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಎಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿನ ನೀವು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ತಗೋತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಲಹೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಓನರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್. ಇನ್ನು 3 minutes. Okay, so this is how it is exactly. Okay, if you have any queries, the remaining points we'll discuss in the next class. Hope you are understood. Thank you guys, thanks a lot.